one of the co-founders and CTO of HackerRank. I have the responsibilities of the information security part as well. So on title, the CISO title also something I have. And that's one of the reasons why we worked with Sprinto as well. We work with a lot of enterprise companies and banks and so on. And for every customer we work with, there is the huge Excel sheets they used to share with all the questions and so on. And there were a few we started saying, if you have SOC 2, share your report. If you don't, here is an Excel sheet you have to fill, which made us think like, okay, maybe if we had this, we didn't have to go through this whole process of filling the same set of questions again and again. So one is a good amount of our solutions engineering team's time and effort goes in filling these sheets. I've heard from other friends and other CTOs that SOC 2 is going to take a lot of your time and energy. It's not an easy one to get into. We were already ISO certified, so that made it easier to convince our customers. But that's the context for us to think about SOC 2. Most of the US customers, even though we had ISO, they value SOC 2 a little bit more than ISO. So that's also one other factor which factor in. We didn't know anything about SOC 2. It was very easy to just follow the checklist more than trying to figure out what to do. It's like, this is what you need to do. What they wanted from me was a weekly or I think bi-weekly call, like once in 2 weeks, to just keep track of progress. They did specify that they need leadership support, but even from my time, it wasn't a lot. It was, I think, to the minimal there. So we used to have a 30-minute catch-up a week. And then it's constant reminding, tracking progress, and everything was there in Sprinto. So it's like last week is 30%, now we are at 40%, and the goal is like, when do you think we'll reach 100%? So we just took the first 2 pages saying, here is the summary of our SOC 2. And that is something we made public within the company, saying you can share it to all of your prospects. And if they need detail, then we'll share an NDA and they'd sign it, and then we would share the SOC 2 report. But for our current customers who signed contract with us, so there we are able to share a lot more there. So this was at least that the go-to-market teams were very happy that we have SOC 2 in place. And even within the product, we are planning to have this in a security center where our current customers can go ahead and download our report if they want. This is on 31st March. They actually wanted to see the SOC 2 before they signed the contract. And it was end of quarter for us. And our sales team took the report from me saying, we will share it only when they sign the NDA, but I want to keep it ready. So seeing this report was critical for closure for some of our contracts. So it helps us reduce the sales cycle. Even without SOC 2, the Sprinto's app has made it easier for me to manage security from one place, right? Like it takes care of our infrastructure, it takes care of our code and so on. Even without the SOC 2, it gives a little bit more trust on the systems we have built in, the right kind of alerting so that we know, okay, this is when we have to maintain these packages, we have to keep upgrading and so we use GitHub for our source code management. And GitHub has this thing where it gives you alerts on, okay, this component you are using has a security vulnerability, you should upgrade it now. But the upgrade doesn't happen on time. And Sprinto just pulls all of that in and keeps notifying. And if you don't clear it, it's going to come up in your SOC 2 report. So it gives us the right kind of push and also right kind of visibility on all the things in one place. That kind of single dashboard to entire security certainly is a lot of value add for a CISO perspective. I think one of the The best things we got from Sprinto is a white glove experience, like their account team. It's almost like having a member in your team who would project manage the whole process. That's something valuable from Sprinto. That's the core reason why I would recommend Sprinto. It's almost like I can forget about that problem because I know the Sprinto person is thinking about it. Like for us, like for SOC 2, it's Sprinto.